Hey y'all, just wanted to do a quick little update video, not take too long on this because I know it might not appeal or apply to many people. But I just got done doing my Canopy modifications. Started on it last night, just finished it today. There's a couple little minor things I'm gonna do to it. But I just kind of wanted to show you what it ended up being. So what I did is I went out and I got these, they're actually 1 by 4 by 39 inch like common board pine bed slats, and they're only like $1.80 something or $1.90 something a piece, so I needed 4 of them. They were the perfect size because they're the perfect width for this canopy. They're also not dense, dense lumber, so it doesn't add a ton of extra weight. And most of this, other than the support beam inside, is just cosmetic on the outside rim. And so what I did is I just went around, I cut all the pieces to size, and right here you can see what I did. I've started doing some wood filler, and that's the little stuff that I'm going to do, and then eventually sand this all down, paint it, stain it, whatever I'm going to do. And I ended up finding this little pine trim piece that pretty much matches this stuff here. So I have a seam. This is actually 2 separate boards that are put together, and then the ends got cut off, but I had this seam here in the middle, so I just covered it up with a sort of a trim piece to be in the center of those other 2. And let me open it up and show you. So this board is technically 3.5 wide, and so what I did was, let me open this real quick, I'll show you. So you can sort of see how I put this together. I used a bunch of ties to the inside of the main part of the canopy, and I did wood glue, a little bit of wood glue on the flat sides. You can see I'm still doing some work here. There's wood glue. These side pieces are wood glued on, and then these are all attached with these ties. And then that's just the front part. That's just all cosmetic. That's not weight bearing. And then here on the weight bearing section, you can see the nice part about this wood, because it matches up with what's on the canopy already. And these are the weight-bearing pieces here. And so what I did is just installed a piece under here, and that enabled me to install a piece under here, and everything just matches up perfectly because it's the same width. It's only just raising everything up 3.5 inches. So now I have tons of extra room underneath my canopy, so that enables me to get under here for water changes, maintenance, whatever, inside the tank. Also, mount stuff that I want, whether it be pump controllers or what have you, inside the canopy. It also provides enough room to get my Radions mounted at the right height underneath here. So mission accomplished for not too much money. I think this whole thing probably, it's something that a lot of people would deem as unnecessary, but in my case, because I wanted to mount Radions and I wanted the extra room because I did like the canopy, it was just too short. And I know there's a lot of forums on this where people have this issue, and this was a fairly simple, I'm sure this wouldn't apply to all canopies depending on how they're built, but this ended up actually being a fairly simple modification. And on the sides here, I have these were wood glued on all sides and clamped, and then countersunk screws, these big wood countersunk screws, were drilled into the side here. And then this outside piece was wood glued to this and wood glued to this, clamped, and countersunk screws were added to here as well. So this is very, very solid. The outside piece is not nearly as much of a concern as this inside piece, and so long as this is sitting on the load-bearing section of the canopy, this will be totally fine. Didn't add much weight. I will go around and do all the fine adjustments, like sanding everything down, filling any gaps in the holes for the screws. And I may actually do something with this. Like there's sort of a ledge here, and I feel like if I could somehow create something to put food or other stuff in, that would be useful, because right now it's sort of useless. And the other thing I need to do is there's a tiny gap between this main piece, and if light ends up shining through, that would be sort of a bummer. So I may go around with some wood filler or some glue, fill that. I have to do a little bit more work in the corners, and then just sand this all down. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to just paint it black, paint everything black, or You know, I have a two-tone sort of bar height table upstairs in the dining room, and that might be cool on this as well. That's what I did to my old stand. So I have the doors off right now because I'm doing some work on the hinges, and the doors they needed a little fixing up. So that's it. That's a pretty simple job. About 20 bucks, I would say, something around there. I mean, between these are a few bucks a piece. Probably didn't need to be so much. These are cheap. This thing was a few bucks. The screws, obviously, those are $3-4, whatever they are. And I already had a lot of the stuff, so I have stuff around: wood glue, wood filler, clamps, stuff, you know, stuff like that. That's about it. So mission accomplished. Got about now 10.5, maybe almost 11 inches of clearance under the canopy, and once this is painted and finished off, I don't think it'll even be noticeable, really, that it's not supposed to be there. Just a slight addition. So that's it. Canopy mods done.